Well, welcome to the edition of one of the starts of Chewing the News with James and Pixie.
What's up?
So, Pixie, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, there's a lot that's happened lately. First, I want to apologize for us not being able to really upload a video on Monday like we had scheduled. His work took a little bit of a toll. He actually ended up straining his back quite a bit, so been in recovery process of that. So I apologize for the delay on that. That and just things have gone really weird in our life, especially with friends that are now no longer our friends, which really sucks. Which I think would bring us to a good topic. What exactly makes a good friend? I don't know, let's start off with what doesn't make a good friend, I suppose. Like, I don't know. What exactly did they do that pissed you off?
Well, when I said I couldn't drive, you have a person that says they were going to do something for you, like drive you somewhere, and then something comes up, like you don't feel good, you feel sick, or whatever happens, and you tell them that day when you come home, hey, I can't do it. Is that a wrong thing to do?
Right, I mean, and it wasn't just that, you know, we had scheduled a couple weeks ahead of time to take them to go get this game. And, I mean, we warned them ahead of time, you know, hey, he's got this big thing coming up at work, he's going to be working like 12 hours straight, you know, we don't know how he's going to be feeling, so put it on your calendar that we can do it, but come up with another plan in case we can't. Or, you know, if you can't make it to a midnight release, we can do it the next day for you. You know, so they said that was okay. Well, the day it came down to it, he's like, are you going to be able to come for the midnight release tonight? And we were like, no, not really. It's not really going to happen. You know, his back's hurting, and he almost fell asleep on the wheel coming home from work, because he used to be a trucker, so he has that problem with falling asleep at the wheel. And,
sorry about the camcorder moving around a lot.
Yeah, we'll have to fix it eventually. But, basically, you know, we told him that, and he was like, okay, whatever. You know, acting like he was all pissed off, and he's like, well, basically, you know, he was all pissed off about it, and he was trying to get it, you know, he's giving an attitude, like, oh, well, you should know by the time you come home if you're going to be tired or not. Like, okay, it's work. Of course you're going to be tired, but it's a matter of how tired, and especially with the, you know, problems you have with your body and being tired and shit. So, you know, oh, well, you guys know day-to-day what you're doing. We don't. You know what you're doing because you have a vehicle. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, watch what's red. This isn't green. Red Velvet needs a little gentle over the tracks, don't she? Jeez.
A little bit.
And it's like, yes, we can do this favor for you, but if you be patient, let us do it the next day instead of him working till 8 o'clock at night. You know, 7 a.m. till like 8 o'clock at night. Not getting home till almost 9. Like, yeah, we're really gonna have him chance falling asleep at the wheel and getting into an accident for your game. I'm sorry, but that's not worth the three of us getting into an accident. You know, you've got kids, you know, even though he doesn't have a vehicle, he has kids, he has more to worry about than that. And his woman goes to work, he stays home with the kids. You know, so you figure he'd be a little more understanding about that stuff, you know, but no, he wanted to throw a fit. He's like, actually, yeah, it is worth getting into an accident to get that game. Like, you can't wait one more mother flipping day.
And we call the place and they call us liars.
And yeah, he was like, oh, well, they can only hold the game for a few hours. Well, we called up that GameStop. They're like, no, we can hold it for up to a week. So, you know, so I think that's definitely what makes a bad friend. When you tell them you can do something and then say, look, if I do this, you know, and also there was something wrong with the vehicle. And then Red was having trouble starting. Red Velvet here was having trouble starting.
No, it wasn't starting. It was, she was misfiring.
Misfiring, that's what it was. So, we didn't want a chance getting into an accident with the vehicles. And for one, if the vehicles were okay, he has a problem when he's really tired or exhausted from work, he'll fall asleep at the wheel because of his history with trucking. So you think that if you told someone you could help them out and then be like, hey, this thing came up with the vehicles, you know, I don't want us a chance to get into an accident. Can you at least wait till tomorrow to give me time to figure out what's going on? And we'll get you there before GameStop closes tomorrow. And he wanted to throw a fit because we didn't do it right when he wanted it, right then and there.
Then they basically said, okay, we're not friends anymore.
Basically. So, in a way, it's kind of like, I feel like he tried to use us. But I think that is definitely what friends should not do, or just people in general, you know. And then he wanted to bitch about us paying him back. Well, we already paid you back for asking for gas money. So, you know, and then he said, well, any food that I gave you guys or anything I helped you guys with, I want paid back for. You know, you're helping someone. You're choosing to do that. You know, we offered to pay him back before, and he said, no, don't worry about it. Now, all of a sudden, now that everything's falling apart and everybody's arguing, you want that all back? I mean, that's greed. That's, you know, I feel like he's just trying to give charity to people to make himself look good. And if someone doesn't do it the way he likes it, he'll freak out and say that you're a user. I mean, just based on that experience, you know, if you have a friendship that you're wondering if you're in like a toxic friendship, you know, definitely if they're doing stuff like that, like, you know, you guys are helping each other out, but then the minute you can't help them, they freak out on you.
I know Pixie here.
That's not right.
I know Pixie here freaks out if you say something last minute, but she has more logic and more understanding.
Right.
That if there's someone on a vehicle or someone can't drive, it's understandable.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That actually, I didn't forget that it was a pet peeve, but you know, that's a good point to bring up. My pet peeve is, okay, if you and I make some kind of plan and we plan it weeks ahead of time, you know, I better not be hearing the day before, hey, I can't do this. Like, all right, you had 3 weeks to figure this shit out, and you're canceling on me last minute when I have everything ready and I'm amped up to go.
With no excuse.
But if it's, yeah, with no excuse. But if it's an emergency, like, okay, you know, I'm exhausted from work, you know, I have a history of falling asleep at the wheel, or, you know, something's wrong with the vehicle, I don't want us getting into an accident, I can understand that kind of last minute thing, you know. So for him to just be a jerk like that, that's not right. That's what I would definitely call a toxic friendship. You know, if you guys are helping each other out, and, you know, you can understand if they can't do something, but they're going to freak out when you can't, that's them kind of trying to use you, or like use you as a crutch, whether emotionally or materialistically. That's definitely a toxic friendship, I would think. And James, I don't know if you've had any experience with this. I don't know if you've had any experiences like this, James, but
yeah, Wayne.
Well, moving on to a different topic, I had a friend that still tries, well, ex-friend that still tries to contact me every few years to this day. I'm not going to release any names because she's very emotionally and mentally fragile. Not saying I can't handle that in a person, but the way she does it is wrong, and she knows it. And she's not changed at all since high school, but ever since high school, you know, she would go around making friends and immediately call them their brothers and sisters. You know, oh, my brother this, my brother that, or my sister's this, my sister's that. You know, and then when they get into one little argument, she'll take it completely out of proportion and freak out like, oh my God, they hate me. They said that they want me to go kill myself and this and that. You know, help me, help me. And I'm like, I can understand, you know, and I felt for that so many times. Like, all right, why'd you tell my girl to go kill herself? Be like, I never said that. We just disagreed about something. And I was like, okay, what happened? And they tell me what happened, and then I tell her about it to relay information. You know, he said, she said bullshit. And it's like, she's like, oh, well, yeah, it did happen that way, but they did say this. They're lying to you. And I'm like, okay. Sounds to me like you're blowing it out of proportion. Let's just slow down. You know, why don't everybody talk calmly and apologize? No, they told me to go kill myself. Oh my God, you don't believe me. I'm gonna go kill myself. And like, each time she never did it. Like, not saying she wouldn't do it, you know. This is not something for me to say, if someone's threatening to kill themselves, just ignore it. No, I'm not saying that at all. But make sure it's a legitimate thing, and not them just screaming for attention for you to be an emotional crutch. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've had any experiences like that.
Here and there.
Yeah. You know, he would always say, you know, I'm a good person. I help people out. I do this. I do that. You know, a lot of people come to me for help and advice. You know, and then, you know, especially if someone amps themselves up like that, and then they, you know, the one time you don't listen to them, or one time you piss them off, and they freak out on you and say, oh, you were using me, you were doing this, you were doing that. Oh, narcissistic qualities, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with your narcissistic friends, you know. Not saying narcissistic people can't be good friends, but, okay, Mike would probably be a prime example.
Everyone knows Mike. If you watch my channel, you know Mike. You've seen it.
Thus, he is not here.
That's why the show's been quote unquote changed chewing the news. Because of that. Because remember, he decided to quit how many times? And I didn't put many of the other videos up, but he did quit many of times. I just decided to change it.
Right.
So.
But, okay, just to take example, you know, him and Mike have been best friends for, what, 8 years, you guys said? Something like that? Too long. Best friends, and you say too long. Good job. But, you know, so I tolerate Mike because that is James' best friend. But me and Mike, whew. Okay, politics put aside. Of course, politics can put a strain on any friendship. But, politics aside, he's... How do I describe it?
I don't even know how to describe Mike anymore.
Well, there was people he used to hang around with that, you know, were rude to him, talked crap about him behind his back, and, you know, talked crap about his friends and everything. And one of them didn't even know me, messaged me, calling me a whore and all this other rude stuff. And, you know, he's currently back talking to them, which I think is stupid. If you have somebody that insults you and talks about you behind your back, why would you go back? You know? Especially if they've proven that they're not going to stop. Oh, well, you know, he says, oh, well, I ruined that friendship, so I wanted to apologize and make things better. Okay, but you're going back to people who walked all over you. You know? So, I think some of the stupid choices he makes, like, he's gotten worse, you know, since I first met him. He's gotten more intolerable since I first met him, I should say. Because of that. Because usually the people you hang around, 9 times out of 10, you pick up a little bit of their attitude because you're so used to being around it. You're so used to that's how you get along with people. You know, kind of reflecting their attitude. So, the fact that he's been hanging out with them and then he comes over and talks to us, you know, and then he's got some of that attitude and it pisses me off. Like, oh, hey, what up, whore? How you doing, bitch? Like, no, I'm your friend. You don't call me that. You know what I mean? It's like you might have that, hey, what up, prick kind of thing. You know, that's different. But you don't come up to me if I'm not comfortable with that kind of thing and just go off like that, you know. Call me a derogatory term and try to turn it into a friendship thing. I don't like that, you know. If I tell you to please stop, I don't like it, and you don't listen, yeah, I'm going to flip on you. Or, like when he mentioned my ex. You know, I asked him, please don't mention my ex in any conversations, you know, it was a rough breakup. You know, I really don't want to hear about it.
It's different if we say it.
Right. Well, he likes to get drunk a lot, and then he'll go off, oh, I didn't say nothing wrong. You know, if Lois would chill out about her ex and all these other people, like, no, you need to chill. You know, if this
It
girl...
don't matter in general, sometimes he does that.
Right. It's like when he's drunk, he doesn't listen to anyone. He'll go off and freak out and insult everybody. And then he'll come back when he's sober, like, I didn't do nothing wrong. I don't have anything to apologize for. That shit pisses me off. Like, why do you do that to me? That's what I consider narcissistic in my book. Like, yes, you have the narcissistic where you look in the reflection like, ooh, I look good. Look at me. You know, I'm sexy. I'm hot. I'm whatever. You know, that's physical narcissistic. That's vanity. But the narcissistic I'm talking about is, I guess, more self-righteousness. Like, oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do this wrong. That person should be apologizing to me. Like, sorry, I'm not going to grovel. Yeah, enough about my blabbering, though, because I'm probably being annoying. What kind of experiences have you had?
Basically all the same. Some people use you for this. Some people use you for your vehicles. Like when I have people use me for the vehicles.
Yeah, when you had,
We're not mentioning names, but
yeah.
still. But, you know, they use you for vehicles. When you try to take the vehicles away, they flip out. She knows that. She saw it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. borrow something of yours, and then you ask for it back, and they have the nerve to freak out on you for asking for it back, that's a definite no-no. That is a definite no-no. That means they're trying to control your things. They're trying to control you. You know.
And it's a whole idea. I didn't mind them borrowing it. Don't freak out when I say not to, when you can't use them. And don't freak out when I said there's a problem with the vehicle, especially my red truck. You guys know that one. Well, everything has changed to Red Velvet because that's the nickname. There's two nicknames, but the main name is Red Velvet because I like that name better. All right, and I know my truck. I drove it one day, like right now. She has a shadow, so you know. As I was telling Pixie here that we need to see what's wrong. The wheels going like this. So you know we need to see what's wrong. But I had the vehicle for so long, I know it. Telling me, oh, this is wrong, you need to replace it. Saying like, okay, basically trying to say, okay, screw you. I'm not listening to you because, yes, I know this is worn, I know that's worn, but only when I care, as long as the vehicle passes inspection. That's only what I care about.
And as long as there's safe driving conditions, obviously.
Of course. Like Red's, where to say Red? Red's, whatchamacallit is messed up. The sway bars and all that. I know, they're old. But I basically didn't have to worry about inspection. I will let her go as a truck, the way it's supposed to be. She's a truck. She's not a car, not a sport truck like green. You know.
Something's killing it today.
And all that, you know. But, and then like the situation with the Cobalt, remember?
Yeah.
I said
Cobalt's down because of that.
They underfilled it. I told them put 4 quarts of oil and 1 quart of this Lucas stuff. Did they listen? Drove it, put only less than that, changed the oil, put 3 quarts of oil, drove it to Jersey, drove it back, and the car started leaking oil real bad. And ever since then, I can't get the car straightened out.
Yeah, and now that one piston is messed up, and it kept misfiring, and went to start her up one day, and went to move her, and the battery died. And no matter what we do, we can't get nothing working now. So she's down until we get a new engine. If the body doesn't have too much rust on it, and that'll pass inspection, you know. So yeah, Cobalt's down because of that.
Yeah, they underfilled it and they overfilled it.
And then they go and call themselves mechanics.
And then they break the radiator.
With their adopted son, oh, I have paperwork saying I'm a mechanic when he's only 19 years old.
And they broke the radiator.
Yeah, he broke the radiator. Well, you don't jack it up at the front of the vehicle.
No, not this truck. You could.
We're not registered mechanics or nothing. We know vehicles, but we're not registered mechanics. And even we know, don't put the jack at the front. You put it on the side with a safety jack underneath in case it does fall like that.
With a car.
Yeah,
with this truck, you can do it because there's a
trucks you can do it.
Beam right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because isn't their balance kind of different because of that? With their balance?
No, you're dealing with the frame.
Oh, okay.
Versus the car, the undercarriage is more out versus in.
Oh, okay.
Well, whatever. It's the trucks are more out and there's more heavy duty frame versus a car. Car just has undercarriage. That's all it has.
Oh, that makes more sense.
So.
But what about Wayne? What kind of stuff? I mean, I don't even know the full situation with stuff.
Wayne?
Yeah.
It's almost like the same situation like with Jake, where he'll freak out if something's the last minute, or like he never drove, but certain things he just didn't want to listen.
Right, like.
But his situation, I always hope you're wearing as bad as what we call Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the ones that mess up the vehicles. Oh, and not to mention when they get into drunk fights, they put holes in that room.
Yeah, and then
walls and
I don't know if anybody could tell me, but I have never, ever had this problem before. I can't get rid of these tiny little what?
The tiny little gnats, yeah.
Gnats, they can't left. I can't get rid of them.
Like, not the fact that they left, but ever since they've been there, they were there, you said.
Yeah. Can't get rid of them.
we keep clean dishes, you know, we always put away our leftovers, you know. I have to dust every week because of my allergies to dust, anything dust, and cat dander. But I can't get rid of my cats. No, I can't do that. Crazy cat lady getting rid of her cats because of cat allergies, that's unheard of. But, you know, ever since they were in the house, and even with them being gone, it's, can't get rid of them. I mean, we set up bowls of vinegar and everything.
Some other stuff, too, that they promised they were going to pay, and it's starting to pile up. We ain't mentioning it.
Yeah.
But, you know...
No, that might be part of the problem, though.
That could be part of the problem, but the whole thing is, it's just... You don't live there. Oh, they said we're going to teach you how to live. How the fuck... We're struggling right now trying to figure out what we're going to do with the house.
Right.
How am I supposed to live on $800 a month on a house? Give or take what I said. Depends what, right? There's no way. I didn't bring you in there just to do stuff. I brought you in there to help out, you know?
Like, kind of like with my ex, you can't, you know, when you're living there, you can't just stay holed up in your room and just be responsible for just your room. You know, it is a house. Whatever part of the house you go to, you are also responsible for, you know?
It's
especially if you ain't paying rent.
Well, especially, and then what I get is like a situation they were using, because it was more like, whenever I came up with a scenario, okay, put money in here. I put the money in, guess what? I found the money gone. I didn't find no money put back in, and there's no excuse. When you get paid a good, I'm not saying no amounts or anything, but when you get paid a good amount,
like if you got a job that's paying you
like $500
every week, $500 to $600 every week.
No, every 2 weeks, but still.
Even so,
That's
at least $1,000 coming in the house every month.
What are you doing with that money?
Exactly. I mean, again, you saw with proof in the room with all the holes in the wall that might have screwed up the geo in that room. You said, you know.
Something's wrong with the geo with that room.
You know, they were going out to eat all the time, and not no cheap place. They were going to the expensive places. You know, faking medical conditions so that they'd get money. You know, at least Erica was. I think Erica was faking all that. It's, you know,
like Tweedle. You say her name's
Tweedledee
Tweedle.
and Tweedledum. Yeah.
Yeah, say Tweedle.
Basically, you know, you can't be doing that.
Well,
you know?
we are here early, but you know what we'll do is we will park and we will just sit and talk until 6 o'clock. That's what we're doing.
That works for me.
You idiot! Look, what the hell? That's my type of parking.
Hold on, turn the camera around to see that.
Look at
Great
that.
parking.
What the world?
Great parking, buddy. That's not even a truck. Come on.
It's not a handicap either. It says handicap. It's not a handicap type of park.
Well, just to recap, you know, toxic relationships, people destroying your stuff, obviously. Mm-hmm. Offering to do favors for people, and if some emergency comes up, you know, and they get pissed off about it, obviously it's a no-no. If people amp up their own reputation just to freak out at you about it for not listening to them later, you know, the whole narcissistic thing in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you have anything like that going on, I would definitely cut that out of your life. It'll reduce your stress immensely. You know, and if you do, you know, because of some of the topics we touched, you know, if there's anyone in your life making you feel like you want to hurt yourself or you want to cut yourself, definitely talk to somebody. I know everybody says that. You know, when you're thinking in your head, no one's going to understand, no one cares. Trust me, again, everybody says this, but it's true. You really are not the only one. You know, it's definitely reach a hand out if you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or you know someone that's going to hurt themselves. You know, if you don't want to refer them, you know, definitely reach your hand out. You know, stay away from toxic people. You know, that they make you feel like you want to hurt yourself. So,
basically, that's it. Basically, this is the end of Chewing the News with James and Pixie. I guess I should call it Pixie and James, because...
Pixie J. I don't know. I don't care.
As she said, she talks a lot. She's my little chatterbox. Talk, but whatever. So, I'll call it, and I will say this. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, please put a comment below or private message us. And please comment on this video. Please press the like button. And
yeah, do all that crazy stuff down there.
All those little goodies down there. every little button down there. Whatever you can find. But except the dislike button. dislike
say
button. But yeah, so please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next.
Later, guys.